This is Unity, Joy of Life. I'm Nancy Norman, and this is your weekly wisdom. In Proverbs 3, verse 6, we read, "In everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success." In everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. Oh, that's a comforting understanding, is it not? God will direct us, and God will crown our efforts with success. He will make our crooked paths straight, and He will guide us, He will direct us, and He will protect us. Nothing is too good to be true. And so why do we settle for less? Why do we make life hard? Why do we struggle through life when we have this magnificent power within us? The power and the presence of God dwells within us. You and I are children of a loving, caring, giving God. And we have been given all of His power and all of His authority. Remember, we were made in the image and likeness of God. Guess what? That makes us have a divine birth line, bloodline. We have a divine bloodline. We were made in the image and likeness of God. We're special to God. That means every single one of us. It leaves nobody out. We're important to God. He's interested in the smallest detail of our lives. Nothing is too good for us as children of God. And when we realize this truth completely, we will be ready to claim all that God has for us, all the good that God has already planned for us. Before we ask, we are told in the Bible, before we ask, God has already provided for us all of the health, all of the wealth, all of the unlimited success we could possibly imagine. But how few of us realize this truth? How few of us understand and know our greatness and accept our power? Remember, you and I have a divine bloodline. We're made in the image and likeness of God. Nothing is too great for us. We need to accept that greatness. We need to accept that power. And yet we live in a limited way because we've forgotten our identity. We have a divine bloodline. So let's accept that. Let's know that we're magnificent children of God. Whatever we have believed about ourselves determines our lives. Remember, we're not our past. We're what we are right now. We're beloved children of God, the good, omnipotent. And when we realize these truths, we will succeed in every way and in all ways. In everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. Put God first in your life. Well, how do you do that? The way you do it is spending a few moments throughout the day, just in a quiet, meditative time, in silence, remembering that you are one with God, that you are God's beloved children. You are God's beloved child in whom He is well pleased. Remember? God loves you and God cares for you. A number of years ago, I had a counseling session with Dr. Joseph Murphy. I was going through a rough period in my life. And he said, "Nancy, I want you to know this, that God loves you and God cares for you. And I want you to affirm that 100 times a day, or if you have to, 1,000 times a day. God loves me and God cares for me." Well, I left his office and not feeling so hot, but I began affirming, God loves me and God cares for me. And then I would add, and God is loving me and God is caring for me right now. And that's really all I need to know. God loves you and God cares for you. And when we know that, It uplifts our consciousness and helps us remember that miracle working power that is constantly present in our lives to bring the many gifts that God has for us. We're important to God. He is interested in the smallest details of our lives. In everything you do, put God first, and He will direct you and crown your efforts with success. God bless you and have a magnificent week.